Well, here I am. It's almost 11 a.m. on February 17th, 2026. Stand at a very significant corner of Fort Pierce at 7th Street and Avenue D. It's a sad story here, but all I can do is blame myself. 5 years ago, I didn't fight for it enough, and man, I'm sorry, Fort Pierce. We could have really done something with this corner here. It's a blessing, nevertheless. Gives me an opportunity to tell a story of what could have happened here, and the potential we still have for the Seed Region economic development model here in Fort Pierce. I'm going to probably record this in segments, several distractions such as buses and people walking. Hey, it's reality. We're here on the northwest side, just outside of downtown Fort Pierce. Passionate about this area. It reminds me of where I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, where I lived in Detroit. I'm a strong believer in the Seed Region model. It's been a decade now I've been working on this thing, and I keep getting off my own path, getting in my own pride, my own success, worshiping that idol, forgetting about my mission in life, what the Lord has planned for me. And praise Him, here I am standing on this corner 5 years later. I'm going to tell you the story. Okay, so here I am just a little bit down from that corner. Station number 15, St. Lucie County Fire District, and the Beth Ryder busing hub. Very nice buildings, right? And then you go down Avenue D, sidewalks are pretty nice, but I'm gonna take you a ride down there in a little bit and show you how splotchy it can be, or the potential of what we could turn this area into if we had not gotten rid of the old fire station that was sitting here 5 years ago. That could already be happening. So that's the end of this segment. So a while ago, when I first came to this area and got involved in this community as a potential location for Seed Region 1, this corner at Avenue B, 7th Street, you can see the old ramps. This used to be the fire station. These were where the trucks would come out. And then there are open bays, garage bays, and a series of offices all the way down to this road here. And then down here at the end of the hill is Moore Creek, I think it's called. But it's a little creek, a little park around it. And that was a nice touch. I guess I was in touch with one councilman at the time that said that this area where the fire department's now using for like training and stuff and extra vehicles, I believe, looks like anyway, was slated for some tiny homes, a tiny home project. I was like, well, how awesome is that? Because then we could utilize this facility as a maker space with a recording studio, everything to do with data, business development and marketing, along with some manufacturing space in the garage bays, or at least like a maker space, teach some welding, some carpentry, get the beginning levels of a place where young men, women, and youth in this area of Fort Pierce could come and learn how to tinker, man. Like learn how to work with some tools and pick up a little bit of a skill and a trade that they might not be able to afford anywhere else, or they're not getting in school anymore. Yeah, we have Indian River College. They're doing an awesome job. Business Development Academy, and that's where a lot of people that might start in here might work their way up to be able to go there and afford those courses eventually. I'm gonna take you down to this creek real quick and show you what that looks like. So I'll try to splice in an aerial of where I'm at right now. That's the corner up there. As you can see, the fire department's doing some training here right now, but a stone's throw away, literally, maybe 2 stones. Depends on how good of a tosser you are, is this little adorable creek that they've rebuilt a little bit. They built it up, they cleaned it up. It's a wonderful job. It is more creek. But as you look at this, you know, you have some grass around the areas. You can set up a venue here, you know? And what if we could set up an outdoor makers fair? You know, like everything that people are learning to make up there in that old fire station. They're creating products, learning a business model, and you know, putting a package together. And this would introduce small business development consultants, skilled trade employers, to get involved in this type of a space, to bring up this type of next generational talent for their workforces. And we could put it all on display here, you know, at this adorable little creek, and give it more of a purpose and more of a reason for people to culminate here and to further develop around this area. You know, Fort Pierce is, I think it's got its own energy. It's kind of a maker's energy. Like, we work here, we got the port, you know, this is what I feel like from Youngstown, from Detroit. We're proud about being from the area of hard knocks and building our areas up. So when we see stuff like this, kind of need to take advantage of it, don't we? It's not a big space, doesn't need space. Maybe it continues up the creek. Maybe as the continue, maybe by selling out these venue slots, we could afford to extend the creek park even farther into the neighborhood, heading west up to Avenue D. Maybe, huh? We wouldn't have to take it from the taxpayers' dollars, take it from the community's pockets. We could generate it ourselves. This all would have stemmed from that building that used to be on that corner. Now, I'm not a servant for either party. I'm not a servant for government. I can't blame government. I can't blame the people that work for the city of Fort Pierce. I work for Christ and Christ alone. In a way, we all do, don't we? This is the land of opportunity, one nation under God. Isn't that what we're really trying to do here? Like, the enemy and outside influences have made us all complacent in the way we do things. And economic development is obviously one of them. I made that full skit, 10 years ago? That whiteboard presentation. You know, of what's really going on. And it's time we broke the trend, man. You know, it's like a revolution we need, man. It's like, but we need a renovation. You know, in the days of revelation. And we put it all together. I'm calling it Revenation. Tried to trademark it a few years ago. I failed. I dropped the ball. Got caught up in my marriage, custody cases, the world. Started idolizing the paycheck, my success. And I dropped the ball on my mission. And this corner reminds me of that. And to get right with the Lord, I had to come here today and share it with y'all. We really could have done something right here. I was told that there was such an argument of what was going on with that building, what they were going to do with it. There was government offices in it. It was operational. It was useful. I don't know if it was asbestos or the building was failing. I don't know the reason why. And really, the only person I can blame for it is me. I'm the only one that had the vision for this. I really feel like this is what the Lord built me for, and I failed. But here I am again. The Lord loves us. He stays with us through the thick and thin. He never goes away. All you got to do is turn toward him. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to try to make this right. I want the story to get out there. I want to look for more properties like this corner where we can try this again. We have I'm going to tell you a little bit more of the final story as I drive along down Avenue D and show you just what I'm talking about. So now that I've regained my composure, apologize for that. Just trying to keep it real, keep it candid. That's my motto, that's my mission. I'll tell you like it is whether you want to hear it or not. So here we are back at Avenue D and 7th Street. Just over that hill, man, is a lot of area for manufacturing. I mean, I ran into an issue over in Bradenton on zoning. You know, it was a school and it's in a residential neighborhood, and probably have to get it rezoned light industrial. But this area down here, Avenue D, we should be able to do retail and residential all the way down here. So hey, this space, if this were still here and you created something and all you needed was like a 10 by 10 room to put a scalable model of manufacturing, not at minimum wage, at a skilled labor wage. If I can make it for $1, wholesale it for $2, and retail it for $4, I'm gonna give you this space. I'm gonna give you 6 months to build it out. Get your line, get your equipment, get your finances raised to get that equipment, your materials, whatever you need to start up, and we're gonna help you do that. Give you that space for a year. Clock starts ticking. 12 months to get your scalable model. Put all the stats together for investors, okay? Another 6 months at the end of that to help you raise the funds to move out into your own place. The deal is, you gotta move out in Fort Pierce. And ideally, we'd want you to commit to putting your storefront down Avenue D. Now, I would really like to make this a working living community. Not a lot of folks living around here. Until we can revitalize it, it's gonna be difficult to bring people back. So we gotta build the residents that live here. I like this old school, like Youngstown, Ohio area where you can live above your storefront. Man, I love that. So you could bring that back. Down Avenue D, I'm gonna take you for a ride. Over the hill for anything light industrial. If you can't get this area for some small manufacturing, we got over the hill. Man, there's tons on over here to north end of downtown that we can develop. There's places sitting there, rotting away, not getting used, that once we had this all rolling, would not be difficult to raise the funds to revitalize that, to suit our mission of revitalizing all of this. Now, I'm not just talking about a straight view down here like some awesome retail storefronts with, you know, all this touristy crap and a hood all around it. You know what? No. The profits from everything gained here are going back into the community. They're funneling, they're finalizing, they're funneled, put into a fund for a board in the community to decide how that fund is distributed, to chip away at revitalizing everything off of Avenue D. Avenue D is revitalizing itself just from the investments made that's centered from here. It's being displayed and put to market down there at the park on Makers Week, on Makers Fairs. It's being manufactured just over the hill where there's a port, where there's plenty ready supply and logistics for manufacturing. And down here, the Makers District, all the way down Avenue D. It's not just a dream. This can be reality. And it doesn't have to be this corner. This was just my vision for this corner. I had one councilman that I could talk to about it. Thought it was an awesome idea. I couldn't raise enough energy from him to link me with one other person to get on the next bandwagon. You know, just the kind of support to get behind it. It's my bad. I went through mentorship. They all basically told me it's impossible to put a business plan to it. It's almost like a build it and they will come kind of thing. So that's when I'm starting with my kneeler. Lord called me out the other night, my own call out. And my own turning point basically told me to build that kneeler. I'm gonna build that kneeler, and then I'm gonna see what it takes to build it. I'm gonna streamline it for production. I'm gonna start supplying them and offering them for sponsors of Seed Region 1 and Revenation. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be looking for a location where I can manufacture that, like maybe in an old fire station that's sitting there. Maybe just take that garage area and let me set up. Let me show them how it works. Let me show them how my $1, $2 wholesale goes back to the house to help pay for the overhead. Let me show them how my profits while I'm in that space are gonna go into a fund to revitalize the surrounding area. Let me set it up. Let me show the model. The only way it's gonna happen is to do it myself. I keep calling for action. I keep calling for support. And it's not gonna happen. I gotta stepping out in faith. I'm keeping it candid all the way, so hope you like that. I'm from Detroit, Youngstown, man. I tell you like it is. It's the only way you survive in those areas. And that's the only way you survive here in Fort Pierce. Be real. Just be street smart. Love your neighbors no matter what. Stick together. You watch. 2 neighbors turn into 3 neighbors, turn into 4 neighbors, turn into a pride around their neighborhood. Cops will notice. They'll start coming around more, start talking. They'll drive the crime away. Crime will go somewhere else. They don't want any of that. They'll just go where it's easier. Let them go. Bring pride back to the neighborhood. People start looking out. Everybody's got a purpose. Rise up together. All pays for itself. Creates jobs. Creates stability. Creates revitalization. Not from taking it from the taxpayers, by creating it ourselves. We can do this. Take your roll down Avenue D, as I promised. All right, so I'm turning right down, headed west on Avenue D. It's kind of nice here, you know. The fire department looks nice. The bus station looks nice, right? Across the street, I mean, the Memorial Chapel, of course, they take care of their property. Starts out looking pretty well. We got some vacant land here. More prospects for Makers Fair. Right here, maybe not, you know, down at the river and up here. Maybe hold at different places at different times. Got a lot of churches, food market. You know, they've done some cute things. It's a promising strip here, really. But as we head more west, you're gonna find more tore down properties, boarded up restaurants, shells sitting there with no roof on them. And we get some heavy traffic through here. But we could get not just living traffic. Here's another building. Yep, I guess it does have a flat roof on it. Vacant space behind the chapel. The Lord's here. The Lord's present, is he not? Look at all the churches. Why is it only churches? What are we praying for here? How about building those houses back up, giving some windows, you know? Revitalizing that for one of the business owners here. How about if we level it, we put up a duplex, so when we create a new house for somebody else, we create a vacant one for another. Maybe we reserve it for persecuted Christians in the future. You know it's coming. Roof falling through. Just sitting here rotting. Got new siding on it, but the roof's falling off. Like somebody started but couldn't afford to finish. Look at all this vacant lot area. The theater. Man, that's been like on a revitalization for years. I keep saying it's been coming back. It's been coming back for a long time. I don't know if it'd ever make it, man, but man, would I love to see it. I'd love to see it as a quick pitch competition location. Bring in a load of investors from around the Tampa Bay area and other major urban areas and successful entrepreneur areas and educators from colleges. I got police coming by, see me driving like a goofball video and everything. He's gonna question me. We have some garage space for some light industrial. I mean, we could do something in there. Storage, warehouse space. Got some cute little storefronts. And we have some homeless sitting up here at this corner a lot. Obviously a heavy homeless base in this area. Another boarded up retail front as a church. This is a big area for homeless to hang out. And where are they gonna go, right? At least they got some shade. God bless them. Vacant properties. It starts getting worse and worse as you head west. You know, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What would it take to put a fence around that corner lot and make it a little bit more of a park? I remember over in Bradenton when I was looking at that neighborhood for Habitat for, you know what, let's turn down the neighborhood. And it was like a front porch. Miss Jones going up, like 85 years old man, his front porch was falling off. Like, hey, what would it take just to take his porch off? You know, he's making it, but the porch is gonna fall on his head. I mean, is the old man gonna go out like that, or how's that loving your neighbor? Let's tear it off and put a decent porch on it. Just a little porch, you know, with maybe a handicap access, a ramp for him. You know, this is right along the riverfront. Somebody built something new here. Look, they built a duplex. Okay, so am I crazy? It's right here on the park. Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. Some of this is already happening. But it's not supported, and it's coming strictly out of investors' pockets for their own little investment. Look how beautiful that is. How beautiful that is. That could be a staple, centerpiece of our mission, is the beauty of this creek area here. It's beautiful. And we're failing it because we're just building a park. More homeless hanging out. And more crime surrounding. They're doing a little bit of individual revitalization, but these are just individual efforts. Whether they're government backed or not, I have to claim my own admit my own ignorance and tell you I don't know. Maybe the government is behind some of this revitalization. Maybe they're not. But I'd like to know whether these guys that live here would like to see this built up a little bit and fixed up and cleaned up. Not to drive up their cost of their property, not to price them out so they can't afford to live here anymore, but to support these churches. So people can be pride in their neighborhood and this can be a safe place to go and get the crime out of here, push it out and build this up for the working class, for the people who live here. Create the model to do it everywhere. We're failing, people. And I take accountability. I failed. I've failed Fort Pierce in the last 5 years. I've done nothing to help out here. And it's always been possible. But I just got caught up in my own darn survival. Just like everybody else. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? Alright, I've looped back out to North 17th. Heading north and coming up on Avenue D again. I'm pretty sure I looked at the map and I can't remember. Hey, you got a roofing company here. Whoop whoop. Andros. Pretty sure I had mapped up to a certain avenue, 24th or something, because there's a circle there. It was like because we still have all this retail. Look at all this potential of these rotted buildings that could be rebuilt, revitalized, and cleaned up in their own little way. Anything new could be residential and commercial. Bring out people living here as well. It's going to be a ghost land at night, just like commercial, retail ghost land in the evenings. This could be a lit up, revived living community that spreads north and south along this western run. For the creek and all the way to like come in on 24th. I'll tell you what, there's some good food in this area. Where's this potato place, man? I ate at before. Wow, there's some good restaurants here already. Wouldn't it be nice to lure some more people here to give them some more business? They've worked hard for it. They deserve it. And I'm pretty sure I'm coming up on, there's 24th here. So maybe it was actually 25th. Yeah, Martin Luther King 25th is pretty much the western end of what I would consider the Maker's District. I think that's a nice line to draw just to keep it focused and realistic. Maker's District, Avenue D, Fort Pierce, Florida. Coin phrase, made in Fort Pierce. Stamped, made in Fort Pierce, Florida, USA. Bring it. Bring your dreams here and watch it flourish for real. That's economic development, brothers and sisters. That's how it works for itself. Not expecting high corporations to come here, level our properties to rubble, and we're gonna leave them like that for decades in hopes it happens, only to create more minimum wage jobs, maybe promote a couple of mid-level management, make it look like they're really doing a lot for the economy. They might redo a river walk downtown or rebuild some fancy hotel downtown to show they're giving back to the community as they create more minimum wage jobs. And then when they're done sucking up all the electrical benefits and tax breaks, brother, then they're just gonna skirt. Everybody's gonna be right back on the fucking streets where they started. Pardon my French, damn it. I'm sorry, I get passionate about this. I'm ex-corrections. I grew up on urban areas, man. I've lived in urban areas. I lived on, Eminem wasn't from Detroit, by the way. He was from Warren. I lived where there wasn't even mile markers. I lived before the mile markers. 94 in Cashew on Woodhall Street, east side. That's real neighborhood. This is the circle here at 15th. I think that's where my initial discussion talked about just starting with a focus from 15th. But we can go all the way to 25th, looking at the structures here. But this could contain it. This could keep it, develop, focus a little bit more to show how it works and concentrate it rather than saturate it and let it bleed out a little bit. We can keep it strong and on a focal area from 15th all the way up to 7th. I mean, it's cute. It's adorable. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back beauty. Know what's beauty? Human light. Humans lit up with the Holy Spirit. That's what brings beauty to community. Healthy, supported, God-loving Americans. That's beautiful. We can do that right here. Or we just let it sit and die. There's somebody else to take it from us.